when the opportunity came up for me to work at Coastal Horizons, which then was Cape Fear Substance Abuse Center, we had and still have a rape crisis center, and I started first working with the Rape Crisis Center, and then later, a year later, overseeing all of the crisis intervention services. One of the stellar points for us is that we've always talked about treating the whole individual. If you came to Coastal Horizons and you were an adolescent dealing with substance use, we had a shelter if you needed open house, our shelter if you needed a place to stay. If during your time speaking with your therapist, it was determined that you had sexual assault or sexual abuse in your past, we had a rape crisis center that we could refer you to. So we really do have a multitude of services provided right here in this one organization. And I think that is what I'm most proud of, is that you can walk in here and we can essentially find some way to help you.
She truly is the heart and soul of Coastal. I'm lucky that we're also very close friends, and if we have coffee in the morning, I see her take those calls at 7:30 or 8. Her phone never stops. I yell at her to turn her ringer off in the middle of the night, and her response always is, if someone needs me, the phone has to be on. And she has that response.
Now we have a whole array of children's services, not just with substance abuse, but also dealing with mental health issues as well. We have grown tremendously in the past 10 years to the point that we are a significant partner in treating those patients that we need to see throughout Eastern North Carolina.
So much of Coastal is because of her direction. And you know, it's amazing how much Coastal's grown in the past 5-10 years. It's also sad because there's a need that needs to be met in the community. But there's not a part of Coastal that does not have Margaret's fingertips on it.
What I can tell you is that the need to have providers like Coastal Horizons is not going to go away. There's going to continue to be an increasing need for that. Because there is more awareness, because there is more acceptance, even though we still have a long ways to go in terms of reducing the stigma, but there is more acceptance and understanding. People are seeking more help. And so providers like Coastal need to be here, and our community can be very happy that we are here.
My dad used to always call them foxhole friends. And he used to tell me when I was young, if when you're older you have 5 people you can count on, Margaret's one of those people. And people would be shocked to know how unsuperficial she can be, because the public sees Margaret Weller Stargell, Mrs. Willie Stargell, and like me, 20 years ago, it's very intimidating. But she really is the most loyal, compassionate person. And I think everything Margaret does, everything Frances does, not to break up the interview and talk about Frances, but everything Margaret does is truly, truly a testament and to honor her parents and Willie.
What would my parents think? I know my parents would be enormously proud. They were always proud of my twin sister and me, and what we've wanted to do in terms of making a difference in where we live. I think about my mother and how every Christmas she would make sure she was taking care of kids that she had gotten to know at Hoggard, largely kids that had special needs and were in the special ed programs. And she would make sure that Christmas was a good Christmas for them. But no one knew about that. She did that without any need to know. My father, who had a beautiful, beautiful, strong voice, would go to Sunset Elementary School and read to the students. He didn't do that for fanfare and for people to know about it. He did that because he wanted to make a difference in those kids' lives, and he did. So it's, whatever Frances and I do in terms of wanting to help and make a difference in our communities, we got that from our parents.